Look at this. Look at that. We say it all the time, right? And hey, it gets the job done, sure, but relying constantly on that one kind of boring word, it severely limits your English expression. You're basically leaving so much color, emotion, and precision on the table every time you speak or write. So, welcome to this explainer. This is going to serve as your ultimate toolkit to completely upgrade your vocabulary. Today, we're cracking open the lexicon of sight, and we are finally leaving the basics behind.
Think about it. You have literally been saying, look, your whole life. But are you ready for something sharper? Honestly, there's a real epidemic of generic vocabulary out there right now. We constantly use these broad, flat verbs that just don't paint a picture for the listener. But by the end of this explainer, you're going to discover 20 highly precise, evocative verbs that'll instantly elevate how you describe the very simple act of seeing.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right here is our eye intensity scale. Think of it like a roadmap for how we're going to categorize all these dynamic new words. Notice how we start up at level 1, with a soft, casual kind of seeing, like a simple glance. But as we move down the table, the intensity really ramps up. We're going to climb from those soft, fleeting glances all the way through focused observation, quick secret sights, and finally hit level 4, peaking at those aggressive negative stares like a heavy, intense glare.
So here's exactly how we'll break it down today. First up, casual seeing and gazing. Second, focused and careful observation. Third, quick and secret sights. And finally, intense and negative stares.
Starting off nice and breezy with Section 1, Casual Seeing and Gazing. This is our Level 1, the soft stuff.
Here is your soft sight toolkit. We've got glance, stare, gaze, peek, and peer. Now, these 5 words represent our absolute baseline of seeing with the eyes. They don't carry a massive amount of aggressive baggage or intense attitude, right? And that sets the stage perfectly before we start adding some heavy emotional weight later on in the explainer. These are really your everyday foundational upgrades from that generic word, look.
Think about how the time and focus naturally shift as we move through these actions. Step 1 is a glance. This is incredibly quick. Just picture how you briefly glance at your phone when a notification pops up. But then look at Step 2. Gaze. This implies a much longer, softer focus, like gazing all night at the stars. And then in Step 3, we hit stare. This is when you're fully locked on, right? Like staring for hours at a computer screen. It's the exact same eyes, but entirely different durations and levels of attention.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the emotion embedded right there in that single word. She gazed at the stars all night. You don't just look at the stars all night. That sounds cold, maybe a bit clinical. Gaze carries this romantic, extended, almost dreamy nature. It paints a completely different picture in the listener's mind. It's relaxed, but completely captivated.
Let's compare 2 other soft words that get mixed up all the time: peek and peer. Peek is quick and often secretive, like quickly looking through a tiny opening in the curtains to see who's at the door. But peer, that implies you are looking intently with real physical effort. Listen, if you're straining your eyes to see into a dark room, you aren't peeking. You're peering. It's a subtle but incredibly powerful difference in how you convey physical effort.
All right, dialing the intensity meter up a bit for Section 2, focused and careful observation. Level 2, medium intensity.
Welcome to the deep blue zone of our vocabulary. The Focus Toolkit gives us observe, examine, inspect, scrutinize, and study. This is the exact zone where scientists, doctors, and mechanics live and breathe. Why? Because when you're in these analytical professions, absolute precision matters. You aren't just casually glancing at things anymore. Your eyes are doing actual, methodical work.
Take a look at this brilliant example. She scrutinized every tiny detail. So the crucial point is that when you use the word scrutinize, it implies an extreme level of care and critique. It leaves absolutely zero room for error or missed information. If you tell your boss you looked at a document, well, maybe you just skimmed it. But if you say you scrutinized it, you're assuring them you checked every single comma and period.
Check out this fantastic side-by-side comparison for our focused words. Both of these mean to look closely, but the flavor is distinct. Examine feels a bit more intimate and medical. Think of a doctor closely examining a delicate wound. On the other hand, inspect feels highly mechanical, rigorous, and systematic. You inspect a car engine, right? You go part by part, checklist in hand, to make sure the whole shebang is functioning. Choosing the right one instantly sets the professional context for your listener.
Moving fast into Section 3, Quick and Secret Sights. Level 3, high intensity.
Our secret toolkit features 5 highly active verbs: spy, glimpse, spot, witness, and notice. This whole group is incredibly dynamic. It's all about things that happen in an absolute flash, or even better, things you perhaps weren't supposed to see at all. This is the vocabulary of sudden discovery and hidden actions.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive difference in intention between two highly secretive words. Spy is intentional sneaking, like when she spied him sneaking out early. You were actively looking for trouble. You're on the hunt. But spot is an accidental discovery. He spotted a rare bird in the tree. He wasn't necessarily hunting for it for hours. His eyes just naturally caught it. Intentional versus accidental. Both are quick, but they require completely different mindsets.
Listen to the sheer weight of this sentence. She witnessed the whole accident. Upgrading the word saw to witnessed here isn't just some simple grammar correction. It literally transforms the sentence into a dramatic story moment. The word witness carries heavy legal and emotional weight. It tells us she didn't just passively see an event happen. She is now a key bound participant in the aftermath.
All right, cranking the intensity meter all the way to maximum for Section 4, intense and negative stares.
Here is your intense toolkit: glare, squint, leer, ogle, and survey. Make no mistake, folks, these are dark, charcoal-heavy words. They are fully loaded with strong attitudes, physical discomfort, and raw emotion. When you drop one of these verbs, you aren't just describing human vision. You are describing intense psychological states or severe physical reactions.
Look at how aggressively the tension builds across these steps. Step 1, squinting in bright sunlight. This is pure physical discomfort. Your eyes are desperately reacting to a harsh environment. In step 2, we move to surveying the entire room slowly. This is calculated, intense, almost predatory observation. It's like you're assessing a threat. And finally, step 3 explodes into open hostility, glaring angrily at a rival. From a harsh light to a harsh emotion, the intensity is just palpable.
He leered greedily at the prize money. Just hearing that sentence makes you feel a little uneasy, doesn't it? I really want to pause here and emphasize the creepy, uncomfortable intensity that a word like leer brings to a sentence. It doesn't just mean looking. It implies a menacing, almost inappropriately hungry kind of attention. It completely changes the morality of the character you're describing.
And then we have this gem. They ogled the fancy red sports car. The word ogle is fantastic. It is absolutely perfect for describing obvious, lingering, and frankly, inappropriate levels of visual interest. It's when someone is staring so hard and with so much overt desire that the act of looking actually becomes a spectacle in itself.
Section 5, choosing your perfect word. Let's move to and see how this builds into summarizing everything we've learned on our practical toolkit.
Here is a super practical cheat sheet, so you can immediately apply these upgrades to your everyday communication. It's all about matching your inner intent to the outward situation. If your intent is to sneak because you're catching someone leaving early, boom, the upgraded word is spy. If you need to deeply learn and you're staring at a map for 10 minutes, upgrade that to study. And if you are absolutely furious, looking directly at your rival, you aren't just looking, you are glaring. It's all about picking the precise tool for the job.
So, here is the challenge I am leaving you with today. Which word are you going to use first? I want you to make a conscious, dedicated effort to drop the generic word look today. Try out your new razor-sharp vocabulary. And honestly, it begs a really fascinating question. Do you think that consciously shifting from simply looking at the world to observing, noticing, or scrutinizing it might actually change how much of life you truly see? Think about it. Drop your chosen word in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, keep observing.